Grazie. You have brought great joy to this old Italian stereotype.
No, Don Vittorio, you're not...
Yes, I am. I know it. I am.
But let's be frank here. You never wanted my friendship. You were afraid to be my dad.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to What the Hell Happened to Them? Jack Attacks the Cast. That's right, Jack Nicholson this season. I am your host, Patrick Skeyhill, and joining me on the line is a hormonal secretion, Joe Vekeman.
Jesus Christ. What?
Hey, stupid! I bought you this dove.
LBLVNC here, still on his soundboard, letting us know he's kicking around. So
yeah, this guy.
Fun find you got there, Lev. We're all super happy.
Yeah, interrupting me, too, on my intro. Thanks, Lev.
Yeah, Lev. Come on. We had a rhythm. What will you say? What you didn't want to be a secretion of hormones?
Yeah, I didn't. Kind of not.
That's just, that's just the way Jack and Kathleen did their business.
Kathleen?
Yeah, what movie did Jack and Kathleen do their business in, Joe?
Prizzi Honor from 1985. A John Huston film. His second to last, right?
His penultimate film, you say?
Oh, thank you. Penultimate. Much better word.
Before we get into what happens in Prizzi's Honor, our sponsor this week is Kid Pacino. For when your child's feeling sluggish, give them the only coffee not fully rejected by the FDA as unfit for child consumption. Kid Pacino. Caffeine for when your kid needs more energy. Do your kids need more energy, Joe?
Less would be always the best.
Do they have one of those, Lev? Can you find out for us for the end of the show?
I know. Can you believe it?
I'm not sure how that answers my question, Lev. The soundboard's not,
kind of a non sequitur.
Working. Joe, what happens in this movie?
All right. This is a much better synopsis here. Charlie Partana is a hitman who works for the Prizzis, one of the richest crime families in the U.S. When he sees Irene Walker, it's love at first sight, but he soon finds that she, too, is a killer for hire. Charlie can overlook his suspicions, but he can't turn off his heart, and the couple must remember that even if they love each other, the Prizzis love only money.
That one just kept going and going.
Well, it's much better than this one, which is two professional assassins fall in love.
Yeah, and there's not much meat there either.
Yeah, right? Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. and Mr. Smith go to Washington. No, what is it? It's just Mr. and Mrs. It's
Smith.
just Mr. the Smith. What is that movie called?
Mr. and Mrs. Smith. But you made the double movie where Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie meet up with Jimmy Stewart and they go to Washington.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And then they see Homer Simpson there and he's
working
hanging out
with Mel Gibson on the remake. The dog with shifty eyes. Yes, Prizzi's Honor, the movie that asked, what if The Godfather attempted to be a romantic comedy?
It's shorter.
This movie's kind of like a reverse Romancing the Stone, also starring Kathleen Turner, right?
Yeah, and it's made the year after.
She's getting pigeonholed.
Romancing the Stone.
You know what's crazy is just this very day that I had watched the movie, which was 4 days ago for me.
Yeah.
I had watched an earlier episode of The Simpsons, the one where Lisa wanted to make a new, less sexist doll because her the one she likes, the Barbie proxy over in the Simpsons world, was saying like, "Thinking get you wrinkles" and things like that. So she's like, "I gotta make my own doll." So she contracted the original maker of that doll that got ousted by the board, and it was voiced by Kathleen Turner.
Oh.
And then sure enough, she shows up in my movie later that night.
Yeah.
Kind of wild.
I mean, Kathleen Turner's got that voice, like
she had very noticeable voice.
Yeah.
This episode came out in 1994. So it's only 9 years later.
Wow. Yeah.
And it looks like she's still working. Not in anything big, but she's still working.
Kathleen Turner? Of course she's still working,
Kathleen
right?
Turner, working her butt off. She didn't have a giant career outside the 80s. Her movie stardom kind of dwindled, but
I agree, but she's probably most recognizable by voice in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
That's true. Makes sense there. She's also going to be in the upcoming Watergate Watch, The White House Plumbers, which I'm told
Is this real?
was going to air on HBO in March, and nobody online can give me a precise airing date, which is odd considering March is almost over.
Waterhouse. I'm looking up
White House Plumbers. White House Plumbers.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a Watergate Watch.
Yes, that's it.
It's got Woody Harrelson and Justin Theroux.
Woody Harrelson again? Oh my god, I'm seeing it right here.
Yeah.
No, this does not get dated yet. That's
suspicious.
What a cast!
Oh yeah, I know.
It's got one of our faves, Judy Greer, back from the dead.
A miniseries is a great way to bring out the random actors.
Yeah, Domhnall Gleeson, Ike Barinholtz, David Krumholtz. Wow, the Holtzes.
Yeah.
Executive producers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 executive producers.
Yeah, it's a different time in Hollywood.
Yeah, I've seen none of this. You think they would want to promote this with all these big actors during one of their biggest shows ever called The Last of Us that just finished up.
Yeah, well, this makes me think it's not, I don't know. I feel like there would be a lot more ads being like, hey, coming out, whatever, March 31st or something.
On December 4th, 2019, it was announced that HBO had ordered the 5-episode limited series, blah, blah, blah. The series is scheduled to premiere in March 2023. Well, you're right. We're getting to the nut cutting.
Running out of time here, HBO. You better, I need my Watergate fix. You better hurry up here. We gotta go.
I'm running out of Watergate things to watch.
Yeah, I'm worried that it's only 5 episodes. This makes me think each episode's going to be 2 hours long.
Yeah, also, they might just dump it in the middle of the week, like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like how they do that. Like, hey, stick with us. We're going to show this every day.
I don't want that.
They've done that with certain shows. It's weird. Did you know that Prizzi's Honor is the film debut of Stanley Tucci? Did you clock him in this movie? I did not see him.
No, I didn't see him.
I feel crazy. I feel crazy for not seeing him. He's got a very recognizable face.
I mean, there are just so many Italians hanging around everywhere. Easy to miss. Stanley Tucci. He loves his mama. Yeah, are the accents good or bad in this film, Joe?
Bad! These are terrible! That was my whole thing. I was liking this movie, and then Jack started talking, like, what the fuck is he doing? And you know what's crazy? I believe he was nominated for an Oscar for this movie.
Well, that's crazy, because I thought a lot of his acting was pretty poor in this film, and I mostly blame the accent. Not that his accent was so bad it took me out, though it kind of did. It's just, I think, in his attempt to make the accent work, his delivery, his emotional delivery is pretty flat or strained most of the time.
He's really, really putting a lot of heavy lifting with that accent, and I'm like, guy, dial it down a bit. Just pull it back.
We get it. You're Italian. Okay, just eat a pizza and move on.
So you made a comment last time when we were watching. We watched Terms of Endearment.
Yeah.
You're like, Jack looks a little older and a little less svelte, and
Yes.
Maybe because for this movie, Jack Nicholson gained 30 pounds to play Charlie Partana.
Why did you need to gain so much weight for the role, Jack?
Because Jack really loves lasagna, from what I've heard.
He was getting ready for the live-action Garfield that eventually went to Bill Murray.
Yeah, live action, but, Garfield's still animated, of course, right?
Well, like the live-action Lion King film.
Jack Nicholson was John Huston's first choice to play the role. You remember how we have that running bit with Susan Sarandon?
Yeah, did Susan Sarandon get overshadowed for famous Nepo baby Angelica Houston?
Nepo baby. Oh, come on. She's probably the best one in this movie. She's great. No, Kim Basinger, who is a name we've been seeing a lot more often, she got turned down for the role from John Huston because he was like,
yeah, it makes sense. She's about to have her heyday.
The studio, expecting the film to perform poorly at the box office, pushed for a relatively quick release onto home video. However, the film was one of the sleeper hits of the season, thanks to terrific views and positive word of mouth, and had a lengthy stay in theaters, and was still in theaters, in fact, when it was released to video stores.
That I find
crazy.
Insane. This movie was a sleeper hit?
Yep.
God damn it.
Yeah, $16 million budget, made 26.6. So, I mean, it made money, but it's going to make tons of money.
Well, it was smart of them to not spend a lot of money on this film. I appreciate them for at least having that sensibility.
Well, I mean, John Huston, he's like, what? How old is he by then?
Gotta be aggressively
Because he died,
old.
this movie, so do the math. He was born in 1906. This is 85.
So he's 89 years old.
No, he's like 81, right?
When he was born, 1909?
79. He's 79.
Okay.
He's from Nevada, Missouri, but he died in Middleton, Rhode Island.
What a place to pick. Having been there, he probably could have done better.
Yeah.
But did he retire to Rhode Island?
What a weird place to retire. I mean, it's not quiet.
You'd think Rhode Island be, hey, death place of John Huston, come to Rhode Island.
We're really off the rail. Let me tell you. Do you want to guess how many Academy Award nominations this movie got? It's more than one.
Damn it. I was going to say goose egg in hopes.
I told you got nominated for Best Actor.
You didn't seem sure.
I'm pretty sure he got nominated for Best Actor.
6.
Did he? He did. It got 8.
Oh my God.
8. This movie's kind of a turd.
Yeah, they pick bad movies, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I'm seeing... Oh, and this is a bad year.
What were the Best Picture nominations?
The Best Picture nominations. So we have Prizzi Honor.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought The Color Purple was fine. It is definitely, like, I don't know. Spielberg should not have made that movie. That's been set to death, though. Kiss of the Spider Woman, a movie I've never seen.
Is that the Woody Allen one?
No, this is the Hector Babanco movie, starring William Hurt and Raul Julia.
No women in the Spider.
Well,
the Spider
Woman I've just
movie.
never heard of her, and I don't think you have. Have you heard of Sonia Braga?
No.
But she looks like she is the titular Spider Woman. So yeah, we got Kiss the Spider Woman, Prizzi Honor, Witness. Is that the
that's the Harrison Ford one, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That
one I know and was a fine movie.
Oh, okay, good. I'm kind of going through the Peter Weir movies right now. So yeah, Color Purple, Kiss the Spider Woman, Prizzi Honor, Witness, and the winner that year. And I am watching a Sidney Pollack movie right now.
Yeah.
Sidney Pollack's Out of Africa.
Ugh.
A movie I've only heard described as boring. 3 hours of boredom. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. $31 million budget. Can I tell you the box office for this I'm looking at right now?
Sure.
227.5 in the 80s. That thing's making Avengers money, right? Jesus.
The Drew Carey Show has a pretty good Out of Africa joke. I won't spoil it for you viewers out there, but as you're going through the series, you might enjoy it.
Who's going through the series right now? It's impossible to find.
The creative people. Yeah, I think the most damning thing that I can say about the 80s is that the 70s gave us The Godfather, and the 80s version of it is this. That's a pretty stark comparison.
I mean, the people who were nominated for these awards are, I believe, very deserving. But
it's just a time when crap was being made. Like, that's what they're letting through the studio gates. They finally starting to figure out their formulas. They got these stupid 80s values. Like, only in the Reagan era would a movie that had murder and gambling and bribery and loan sharking all be okay with the protagonists. But God help you if you do prostitution. That's the one sin. No, our mob family doesn't do prostitution. Yeah, we do all the other stuff. And I know we began the movie killing people on a wedding day. But don't you dare, other mob family, do prostitution. You're not like us. You're scum. Even the woman that I thought Jack would pick over the family based on everything the film had set up.
Yeah.
They kill off and I go, well, she was a prostitute too, of course.
Yeah.
But men killers, yeah, that's fine. That's just what men do. It's boys being boys.
I just really want to quickly give you the director lineup for Best Director that year.
Fine.
So, Sidney Pollack won for Out of Africa. Hector Babanco for, I hope I'm saying that right, Babanco for Kiss of the Spider Woman. John Huston was nominated for Prizzi's Honor.
Shouldn't have been.
Peter Weir Peter Weir was nominated. I mean, at that point, it's just like, can't believe he's still making movies.
Yeah, let's just do the guy we know.
He's very sick, right? He dies in like 2 years. Peter Weir for Witness, and I love this nomination, Akira Kurosawa for Ron.
Yeah, now there was somebody directing his ass off.
I know.
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
Out of Africa, assholes.
Angelica Houston won Best Supporting Actress that year for Prizzi Honor.
They said, wow, she's doing such a great B.B. Newworth impression with a bonus Italian accent. Let's do it.
Yeah. But I will tell you, our buddy Eric Roberts was also nominated for a Best Supporting Actor that year. Remember Eric Roberts?
Yeah, I remember
From,
Eric Roberts from
Blood
any
Red.
number of things. Well, Blood Red hadn't come out yet, so...
I know, but that's where we know him from. Yeah, Eric Roberts was nominated against Robert Loggia, William Hickey as Don Corrado Prizzi. That's the old guy, right?
Yeah.
The the super old guy who's in Christmas Vacation. That's where I knew him from.
Oh, he is? All right.
Yeah, he's one of the grandparents in it. But the makeup he has in this movie, he looks like he's a corpse. I think is there supposed to be a joke? This movie's...
Yeah, right? You were pretty set up to be one type of movie for a long time.
And then he comes in.
Well, he was in at the very beginning. He is sort of a joke. You forget he's also the puppet master in the movie Puppet Master, which I'm very intimate in.
I know. I have
and
not seen
did a
those.
couple episodes of the show Wings, which I don't remember him in, but...
Yeah, this movie was also nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. Back then, the award was known as Best Screenplay Based on Material from Another Medium.
Well, I'm glad they figured that one out for marketing purposes.
Oh, wow. What a weird Oscars.
Yeah, looking back, The Border really was the transitional film I thought it was. Because the last couple have felt full-blown 80s.
Yeah.
This one at least had these quieter, more hands-off moments. This movie won't stop. And every 3 minutes, we got to see an airplane going in one direction or another. Yeah, the story blocks fee for that airplane clip sure did pay for itself.
Are you ready for... I got a Roger Ebert review. You want one of these?
All right, let's see what Roger said.
Roger, Roger, Roger. Roger, 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 Roger. R-O-G-E-R. R-O-G-E-R.
Roger Ebert gave the film 3.5 stars out of 4 and wrote, "This is the most bizarre comedy in many a month. A movie so dark, so cynical, and so funny that perhaps only Jack Nicholson and Kathleen Turner could have kept straight faces during the love scenes." One. It was barely anything. Want Pauline Kael's review?
All right.
She's got a little, jabs, right? This John Huston picture has a ripe and daring comic tone. It revels voluptuously in the murderous finagling of the members of a Brooklyn mafia family and rejoices in their scams. It's like The Godfather acted out by the Munsters.
I wish we got that movie. That movie would have been great.
Jack Nicholson's average guyness as Charlie, the Klan's enforcer, is the film's touchstone. This is a Baroque comedy about people who behave in ordinary ways in grotesque circumstances, and it has the juice of everyday family craziness in it.
Yeah, I bet if you made this movie today, it would be pretty interesting. It wasn't then. And the tone, I would say, is uneven and confused and prone to schizophrenic shifts.
Mm-hmm.
I would also say Huston's directing is notably lacking in this. The reveal, it's a lot more emphasis on the script itself. She comes home after Jack has killed her husband, and we reveal that she was the wife the whole time. There should be this big visual flourish, this reveal. It's just it happened.
It really just feels like okay.
Yeah, there was a lot of big moments and big reveals that would have been great to do some dynamic camera stuff or even basic cinematography, and you just were like, well, we're putting the camera down and we'll catch the action and we'll do the next scene because I'm tired.
And can I tell you something?
What?
The Boston Society of Film Critics Awards disagreed with you because they gave this the Best English Language Film, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actress, and Best Director that year. They love this movie. Right here in Boston. You love Boston, Where we're from?
The strong Italian population of the North End had some sway over the critics that year, I think.
Oh my god. New York film critics, same thing. Best film, best director, best actor, best supporting actress. Are we crazy?
We are not. History is on our side. This is not a good movie.
Meh. Was not into this one.
This can't be a good movie. I refuse.
His accent is just like, why yada guys, and he like taking him by, I feel like he's gonna grab him by the cuff and just start like going, slapping him across the face like, oh, what are you doing here? Get out of here, you boys, go back home. What is going on with that accent? It's so distracting. I mean, I felt like if he just did his Jack voice, we'd be in much better waters. just in that sense. So that would just like kind of be a little more easier to digest this. I don't know. He's worked with a huge director. He's never worked with John Huston, right?
Yeah, he's working with his dad-in-law.
Get me out of this jam, Jack. Come on. All right. Here's all the awards that I'm getting you nominated for.
Yeah, undeservedly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, surprise, surprise. This movie does not pass the Bechdel test.
Yeah,
it came kind of close early on, but then it immediately detoured. This movie, a great example of how lazy can we score this movie. We've got Alex North here, who has done a couple of big films: Streetcar Named Desire, Death of a Salesman, Spartacus, Good Morning Vietnam.
Shit.
Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? A bunch of films I have not heard of. A bunch of films I've vaguely heard of. And then this movie, which is just like, what are all the old Italian songs that are in the public domain? Let me just take all those.
It's a great point, because I'm like, oh my god, I've heard this song in The Sopranos so many times.
For our very Italian movie, we're only going to use Italian folk songs, Italian operas, things like that. Lazy. But you know what? It's towards the end of his career. It's right near he only composes for like 3 more years afterwards, so I'm not surprised he started phoning it in at the end of his 30-year career. Maybe he was like us and like, this movie doesn't matter, I don't have to worry about it. This movie's not great.
Yeah, we are in total agreement. I'm sorry. I can't fight you on this one. I just want to give you a couple more things on here. Where did I see them? There are reports that John Huston's continual advice to Jack Nicholson before takes was, remember, he's stupid.
Oh my
god. Hold on. So after reading the script, Jack Nicholson initially turned down his role in this movie because he thought it was too dark. He was told that the movie was a comedy and said, it's a comedy?
Yeah, hey, you know what? So were we. So were we, the audience. And then he said, what if we try Chinatown again? And I go, but you have none of the soul. You have none of the real social commentary.
And why does your voice sound like that, Jack? You didn't sound like that in Chinatown.
Yeah,
I was working with you in that, but you know what? I'll go along with it. It's a comedy. You're stupid. Whatever. Action.
You'll be laughing in the aisles. Oh, you killed your wife. Oops. Ha ha ha.
Al Pacino was offered the role of Charlie, but turned it down. But he said I guess he was offered, but it says Huston wanted Jack Nicholson.
Maybe the studio was like, we're getting this other guy who was already in The Godfather to do this basically Godfather movie.
Yeah, but also Al Pacino, I believe, was kind of like doing a hiatus after Scarface, so he wasn't doing anything right now. So
maybe that, but I don't know. Like, if I was very, very well known for playing gangsters, I might want to not play a pretty much the same role in pretty much a worse film.
Oh my god, I got more shit for you. It might just be us, because this is crazy. Included among the American Film Institute's 2000 list of the 500 movies nominated for the top 100 funniest American movies. What?
Has anyone laughed during this movie? Was this?
This was film critic Pauline Kael's favorite movie in the summer of 1985. Liza Minnelli was originally offered the role of May Rose, but turned it down. So I'll get my daughter. Don't worry. Don't worry. Fuck you, Liza. Get out of here.
Other films on the 500 funniest American films: Dogville, Titanic, Rosemary's Baby, The Tribe,
The Tribe.
All knee slappers.
Is The Tribe the movie we saw at the Brattle?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that's what you were referencing. A movie that
joke
maybe
is
2
for
people
me.
have seen, and that joke's for us, and that's it.
You didn't even remember it.
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I remember that movie. That was a wild time because you were like, I've heard of this movie, and I'm like, I'll come along. That was one of the first movies we saw together.
Very hilarious film.
Oh, definitely.
Notably hilarious film. Amor.
So I think this is just like someone saying, oh, hey, these are the big actors at the time that were considered for the role. Tom Hanks, Dustin Hoffman, Bill Murray, Ryan O'Neal, Christopher Reeve, Burt Reynolds, Sylvester Stallone, John Travolta, and Jon Voight were all considered for the role of Charlie.
Who do we think would have done the best Italian accent, and who would have done the worst?
Stallone would have done the best, right? He already did Rocky. I love him. Let him do it. You know what? If you gave Stallone this movie at this time, he would have fucking knocked it out of the park. This could have been his fucking Oscar. He's like, of course it's a comedy.
Yeah. You know who you could have gotten if you needed this really dumb hitman guy? Tony Danza.
Oh no, he wasn't even
considered. You idiots.
This is like his time too, right?
Yes.
This is a big Tony Danza time.
Taxi's just ended. He's starting to do some movies. He's big.
All right. Now, so I just wanted to do this because this list of women is insane. So, considered for the part of Mae Rose, which is kind of a small part, Rosanna Arquette, Linda Blair, Glenn Close, Gina Davis, Mia Farrow, Farrah Fawcett, Carrie Fisher, Melanie Griffith, Daryl Hannah, Goldie Hawn, Kelly O'Brock, Heather Locklear, Jennifer Jason Leigh, who would have been a baby at this time.
Yeah, that's an odd choice.
Demi Moore, Sarah Jessica Parker, also a baby at that time. Like, what? Like, she just did Ferris Bueller. Like, what?
Yeah.
These are teenagers. Like, against Jack, who's in, like, his late 40s, like, early 50s?
Sure would have been creepy.
Yeah. Michelle Pfeiffer, Ali Sheedy, Meryl Streep, Emma Thompson, Stella Ward, and from last week, Deborah Winger.
No Susan Sarandon.
No, I wished.
Yeah. Deborah Winger had to go to rehab. Michelle Pfeiffer seems like she would be very young, too.
Yeah, but the thing is, Michelle Pfeiffer and Jack Nicholson are going to star in 2 movies together soon.
Well, I do like my Pfeiffer. Won't complain about that.
And also considered for the role of Irene Walker, Jessica Lange, who he just had worked with.
Yep.
Christy McNichol, Tatum O'Neal, who would have also been very young. What? She was in Paper Moon a decade earlier as a child. What?
Yeah.
Brooke Shields, also way too young.
Very young. Famously young Brooke Shields.
And Sharon Stone, who was also pretty young at that time. But
yeah, creepy.
I think she was an adult. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, fucking Tatum O'Neal and Brooke Shields are, like, teenagers. What? Right?
Yeah, what if we Jack fall in love with somebody 3 decades younger? I guess it'd be 2. I guess it'd be 2 decades. Still creepy.
So I'm glad that we agreed on this one, even though we just kind of took a big shit on a movie that apparently everyone loved.
Yeah, we're the only ones in the whole world who seem to dislike Prizzi's Honor. Here's my theory. Everybody really, really liked it when they came out, and I bet we would look less fondly on it today. But the problem is, nobody remembers that this movie exists. So we can't do a retrospective.
Well, we just did, and here's your reminder.
Yeah.
Not good. Don't
Guys,
watch it.
Guess what? Update, it's bad. Update, almost 30 years later, bad. Bad movie.
I'm going to blow your mind. It's almost 40 years later, buddy.
You're right.
Sorry. We're getting old.
I've been 10 years off my math all day today, it seems.
We are 2 years away from this movie turning 40.
Old movie.
Yikes.
Old movie, bad movie. The end. Skip it. You're done.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry we don't have much love for this. I know every...
Yeah, I'm not too sorry. I'm okay. I don't like it. I don't like it because it's bad. I think that's fair. I think it's okay to not like bad films.
Yeah,
I think it's fine to like bad films, but don't get on me for disliking a movie that's bad. It's a bad movie.
Yeah. It's also totally fine for everyone to have their own opinion and to share it, and everyone to be just kind of okay with that and not dog anyone for having an opinion that's different from them. There we go. We saved the internet.
Yeah. We've done a much needed service.
But it's the whole weight gain, though. That kind of makes sense. That's probably why.
But this movie came out 2 years after Terms of Endearment.
But it's probably like, it's a small role in Terms of Endearment. I know he got the Oscar for it. It's a very small role. The Border must have been filming a long time, like maybe like a year before. 1982?
I
know
think
they're like a year.
he got fat because he's old. I think he got fat.
Okay, fine.
Because
I agree
old,
with you.
And his
I'm just trying to
metabolism
defend
slowed
him.
down, and he said, fuck it. I'm here having fun.
And you know what? Good for you, Jack. We support you.
Yeah, whatever. You look. We already commented on this very early on. You look how you want. You don't give a shit. I think that's very brave of you to do in Hollywood. Though you do have the privilege of doing it as a man.
He's also still very handsome. He's got a lot of handsome charm to him.
It does have the charm. Not in this movie, but it's there. He's got it.
The body might not be there, and that's fine. But
yeah, I can't believe everybody in 1985 watched this movie and they were like, "Oh yeah, good comedy," and that was not my take. I was confused for so long if it was a comedy.
Can I hold on? Because favorite comedies in 1985. Let me tell you, I believe the 80s was pretty famous for its fucking good comedies. That's when like comedies were made back then. Okay, I'm angry now because my favorite comedy and my favorite Martin Scorsese film came out that year, After Hours. I'm kind of really upset right now that this was named and that movie got no love. No one liked that movie.
Yeah, I bet everybody wishes they could take that back.
Yeah, great. Do you like After Hours, right? Have you seen it?
Yeah, I'd say I like it enough.
Yeah, same year as The Breakfast Club, Back to the Future, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which rules, European Vacation, Clue, Fletch, Teen Wolf, Desperately Seeking Susan, The Stuff. Have you ever seen The Stuff?
I've never heard of The Stuff.
It's just a horror movie. It's kind of funny.
Say a kind of funny horror movie?
Yeah, I mean, it's silly.
Well, we have our kind of funny marriage drama in Prizzi's Honor.
Wait, what? They made that a year later? Yeah, so the sequel to Romancing the Stone, The Jewel of the Nile, I did not know it came out the next year. So Kathleen Turner is also in The Jewel of the Nile.
Romancing the Sand. Is that the sequel?
I guess so.
Divorcing the Stone. Is that the sequel?
No, it's The Jewel of the Nile. I mean, I don't know what you're doing here. I just told you the title.
Fine.
Yeah, 1985. Great year for comedies.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Prizzi's Honor.
Well, they should have been more hilarious than Prizzi's Honor. Notable, quotable movie, unlike Caddyshack.
I think, wasn't Caddyshack a little earlier?
It's 80s. It's all the same era, Joe.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is a year after Beverly Hills Cop. A couple years after 48 Hours. We're talking Eddie Murphy times.
Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah. This movie with no comedic actors, much funnier than all those comedic movies with comedic actors. I bet none of them kill their spouses in that film. Ha 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 ha! Oh, you Prizzi's Honor.
So I feel like I mean the story, whatever. I feel like it's just Jack. Jack's not right for the role. I don't feel like this is a movie for Jack. You feel like the script sucks, right? Yeah,
I think this is a bad script. I think it's badly directed. I think its music is shitty. I think the cinematography is lazy. I'm done. I'm moving on.
Okay.
Moving on to whatever the next year is, 1986. We're getting out of here.
So yeah, do you want to move on to our next segment? Do you have another segment this week?
No.
Do you have any football around the world?
Oh, yes, thank you. Football round the world. It's sad football around the world, though.
Oh no, the Battlehawks?
They lost again to the DC Defenders again. That I thought that they could kind of hold their own. They looked a little worse this time around. I think that's just going to be the championship team, and we're going to do the best we can to hold our own. But I don't think this is our year. But what a great team it's been. They've been fun to watch. I look forward to other games this season. There's still 5 more weeks to go till the playoffs.
Well, I'm sorry about the Battlehawks.
If they only lose to one team this year and that team wins the whole league, I don't feel bad about that.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. They play the Vipers next week, so take down the Snakes. Caw is law. All right, Joe, what do you got?
What do I got?
Oh, I thought you made sound... Oh,
I have nothing.
We're going to last looks then.
Yeah, Oh, wow. That's it? No more Watergate watch?
There's no Watergate to watch because this White House Plumber show won't come out. And Young Rock's done. Like, we're finally clearing out the closet here, and we just get to talk about the movie.
Okay. All right. Well, I missed the segments.
That's fine.
We'll have to come up with a new one.
Less editing for Lev. We're doing okay.
Last looks. Jack, I'm looking at the next movie you have for the year after this. Hoping it's better. Just hoping it's better than this. Because this is definitely a comedy for next year, and I'll tell you after. But yeah, so Jack, try again. That's what I'm saying. Don't know if the weight gain was worth it, but, try again.
Hey, why does Jack Nicholson do this movie? He has a gap, right? He does nothing in 1984, so he's...
Yeah. He won an Oscar. Why does he need to work?
It's unlikely that he wasn't getting work or wasn't offered work. Likely he was being choosier, so that makes this choice a little more surprising, but it's John Huston.
He turned it down. Then he was like, all right.
Yeah, right. Is he still dating Angelica at this time?
I believe so.
All right, so yeah, your
Maybe
girlfriend's in here. You get to work with an auteur, right? We know Jack loves doing that.
Yeah.
This was, in theory, an actual good director.
Yeah, he's made great movies. John Huston's good. He made good movies, right?
Yeah, he had made good movies. Not this time. Didn't really direct this time, I'll say.
He was probably
did not
tired.
take advantage of, as not great as the script was, there were moments you could at least take advantage of, and you could really direct, and he just said, man, she comes in, we're done.
Do you remember, hold on, before we go, do you remember, I think it's one of the close to the last shots, but, he throws a fucking, knife into her throat? Comedy.
He's made the decision to go after her, which even then I think he's lying to them. I don't think he's lying about wanting to kill her.
Yeah.
So your movie's already bad in that sense. Mm-hmm. So I'm not worried that he's going to do it. I'm like, I wonder how he's going to get out of this one.
Yeah.
And then he goes home to read a note, and then he's got to go to the house. And then we didn't really need any of that, I guess. She seemed like she was going to get the hell out of the country. And so you stay at the house you told him you were going to be at as your cover story? You were just asking for it, Kathleen Turner. My goodness. And then you thought you could kill him, and then he killed you, and and then it's over. He's not crying, he's not sad. We're not living in this decision that he had to make. He just, he kills her, he walks out of a car, and then the movie's over.
Well, he calls Angelica Houston.
Then he calls Angelica, and he's like, I guess I love you, because the other woman I really loved is dead now. And she's like, thank goodness. And we get an ending same way that we got the ending of The Player, but I don't feel the smart satire of any of it.
Wow. Do you think Robert Altman was like, I can do this better?
Yeah. He did. Way to go. So, Jack, it's not a great movie for you to choose, and you were smart to not want to pick it, but I get why you did it, and I hope you didn't feel... I hope when they nominated you were like, really? For this?
Yeah, he's like, I was coerced, but I'll take the nomination.
Did you see what I did in the 70s, and you're picking this? Good Lord. Okay. Well, we'll have to thank Kid Pacino for when your kids need to bounce off the walls more. When your walls are trampolines and you want to get the money's worth out of them, Kid Pacino. I'd like to thank Lev Van Rensselaer and not his soundboard for being the audio maven that we are craving. I'd like to thank my co-host Joe Vekeman.
Thank you.
If you don't want to be a secretion of hormones, Joe, I get it. You could be a secretion of whatever else you want.
Oh, thanks. Thank God.
You're any secretion in my book, Joe.
I would love to be in your book. Secreting.
And I am your host, Patrick Scale. You can find my features, documentaries, short films, video essays, animations, behind-the-scenes footage, and so much more at QuixoticUnited.com and social media, presumably with a similar-sounding name. Thank you all for listening. Joe, say goodnight.
Good night.
The world's changing every day, time's moving fast. My girl said I need a race, how long will she last? I'm caught between my woman and my pistol and my chips. Triple beam, got some smokers, all whistle as a dip. I'm lost in the land with no plan, living life flawless. Crime boss, contraband, let me toss this. Mediocre's got a lot of nerve, let my bucket swerve. I'm taking off from the curb.
So Joe, you may have noticed my photo yesterday of me watching Godzilla in the theater.
Yes, let's get to that.
Well, Joe, it was the 20th...
Were you alone?
No, there were many, many Godzilla nerds there.
Okay, well, you're just taking pictures in the theater. I don't know. Just be careful.
I want to... Whatever, just click. That's on my phone. It doesn't have a flash.
Oh, okay, good. All right.
Yeah. Just pictures, so I could show how cool I was watching Godzilla on the big screen. It was the 20th anniversary of Godzilla Tokyo SOS, the direct sequel to Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, which they had screened on Godzilla Day last year.
So wait, what's Godzilla Day? What is the day?
That's the day Godzilla originally premiered in Japan.
Oh, okay.
1954.
Right.
So they made a big celebration. They picked that movie, and then they have conveniently shown the sequel on its 20th anniversary for the first time ever in U.S. theaters.
Oh, wow.
So, of course, I went. They finally had it at AMC. They didn't have that on Godzilla Day. But that one was sold out, which meant I had to go to the theater that does not give free refills on their popcorn.
Oh.
They claim they did. They claim they charge a cheaper amount, which they do, but it's like $1.50 cheaper, so whatever.
What the hell?
I know. But that theater had 2 show times, one at 7, one at 7:15. The 7 o'clock one also sold out. G-Man is popular. You recognize this one here?
I don't, but what is it? Tell me what that is.
This is the DVD. This is the Blu-ray of Tommy with the big robot on it for some reason.
You bought Tommy? Out of all of the Jacks that we've watched, Tommy's been your favorite?
Not my favorite, but I think it's an early runner for the Southland Tales Award for Season 4.
Holy Toledo.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right, I can see that. I mean,
yes.
How many times do we cover Anne Margaret with beans?
Yes, I thought you'd make that reference. Yes, the Southland Tales Award is something I just made up this week to justify my purchase of this DVD. Every season, we will pick a movie that pleasantly surprises me, that I had never heard of, that I enjoyed a lot more than I expected. A movie that came out of nowhere to steal my heart. Season 2, obviously, was Southland Tales. Season 3 was Full Frontal. And now, Season 4, it's looking pretty good for Tommy. A movie I'd never heard of, but just couldn't get out of my head. It's just so weird.
We do have a couple of weird ones that I haven't seen, but I know are, like, critically weird.
Well, that's fine.
Coming up.
This was like $10 and it comes in a really cool steel book with this really weird pop modern art thing. I don't know what this robot guy's doing on here, but
you got that for $10? That's a steal.
I know. Yeah.
Never even seen that movie around.
But speaking of, Joe, what did you get on the Criterion flash sale this time? What
did I get? I got 4 movies. I just have to look them up.
You got to get that free shipping. I get it.
Yeah, no. And one of my movies was back ordered, so I'm not paying for them technically yet. So I'll wait till it comes out. Okay, so I go. I'll kind of explain them. So I have never seen Spike Lee's Bamboozled, but I've heard recently that it's kind of like one of his like underseen good movies.
Yeah, you like his minstrel show movie? You ready for that one?
Yeah, no, I've heard. The cover was kind of threw me off a little bit, but I've heard really good things about it.
Well, he's allowed to use that cover. We can't use that cover.
Yeah, no, I would never. So then I have that. It's my blind buy. I got 2 blind buys, and then 2 movies that I really kind of enjoyed. Inland Empire, the Blu-ray of that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Clute.
Clute?
Yeah, Jane Fonda.
Oh, okay, yes.
It's I think it's Pakula.
Yeah.
Ellen J. Pakula. Yeah.
Yeah, more
and then,
intrigue.
Yeah, and then Edward Yang's A Bright Summer Day.
That's the blind buy?
That's the other blind buy.
Okay. You've seen Inland Empire?
Of course I've seen Inland Empire.
I don't know. I thought you staying away from it because it was too long.
No, we talked about it like way back when, like at the Milford House with the Nina Simone song.
That was a while ago. Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I try to avoid the blind buys because I like having a very pared down collection. So if I'm getting a movie I'm not going to want to watch multiple times.
Totally understandable.
Right? So immediately, after watching Tommy, I'm like, oh, do I want to own that? And they said, no, I don't know. But months and months later, I still seem to want to own it, so that's a good sign. We'll give it a go. Yeah, so I also bought Inland Empire, which had in fact come out the very day of the sale. So it's very convenient.
Oh, I figured there was something going on with that because they kept promoting that one heavily.
Yes, so that was pretty good. And I'm excited to expand my David Lynch Criterion collection now. Really just need...
Wild at Heart, right?
Wild at Heart. I was trying to think of the name of it. It was Hearts of something, and that was wrong. If they did a straight story, fine, whatever. But not necessary.
It is more likely than it had ever been because Disney does have a movie on the Criterion collection now.
WALL-E.
It's called WALL-E.
Yeah.
So weird that that's on the
Criterion choice, but fine. If you're gonna get if you're gonna get a little too mainstream Criterion, we got our Bellows slowly churning out random crap for me.
Yeah, there's also like what's the other one? Vinegar Syndrome and Arrow. Arrow does some good stuff. Also, Kino Lorber is like saving the day with these movies that I've never heard of that I thoroughly enjoy.
Kino Lorber is a good company too. Of course, I got to get the Haneke trilogy.
Oh,
His
yes,
first 3 films in a complete box set. That helped me get to that shipping minimum fee pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I'm going to grow my Kelly Reichardt.
Oh, what'd you get?
I got the Certain Woman.
Certain Women, yeah. That's a great one. I saw that at the Kendall.
She's got one other one on there that I thought I'd get, but this one was older, so I was worried it would get out of print sooner. But next one, I'll get the other one. I got a list now. I didn't want to be unprepared, so now I have a full list of a bunch of films I'd want to own on Criterion. So when a sale comes, I just pick some from there, and I'm good to go.
Oh, excellent. That's a great way to do that. Maybe I'll adapt that.
Yeah, we've had enough sales where I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to get. What's on here? I don't have time to look for it. Now I'm ready.
The next one should be the Barnes & Noble Criterion one where it goes on for like 3 weeks in like the middle of the summer.
I know, but then I got to hope the Barnes & Nobles has the one I want. That's a whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good way to kind of explore and be like, oh, I forgot this was on there. I'll get this one.
Did you know that Kelly Reichardt has a new movie coming out this year?
Yes, I did. I'm very excited.
Yeah, Michelle Williams.
I know. It's not a documentary. I'm all game.
What was it? What was a documentary that you didn't like that she did?
First Cow.
That wasn't a documentary.
Yeah, it was.
No, you're mixing up the Andrea Arnold movie that's like just called Cow.
Oh, Jesus.
First Cow is a narrative feature. Yeah.
Well, I got to go watch First Cow now. I stayed away.
That was like the biggest movie of 2020 because everyone's like, oh, they've actually like they still like release movies in 2020, and that was like one of the ones that got released out of all of the movies. They're like, yeah, we'll put out this movie, it'll do fine. And then everyone's like, oh, they're gonna get awards for this, and it was, even in 2020, they were just like, Kelly Reichardt, who's that? And I'm like, come on, Academy, come on.
Yeah, they're assholes. You'd be like, oh, they're finally giving awards to female directors. Well, only if you kill Osama bin Laden. Only if you're really American do you get an award as a female director.
No, they gave it to, oh, what's her name? I can't remember her name now.
Uh-huh.
She did Nomadland.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
The second only. Oh, no, wait, there's the third. Jane Campion won last year.
Did she? For what? Oh, the cowboy movie.
Power of the Dog.
Jeez, everybody forgot about that real quick.
I like that movie.
Yeah, I completely forgot that movie existed. Oh my goodness.
Well, how quickly are we going to forget about? Well, no, the Best Picture winner. Do you remember who won Best Picture last year? Blankness in your face. Best Picture last year. That's great.
No,
it's okay.
Oh, it's the dumb movie, Coda.
Yeah, the one you didn't like, the one that made me cry.
Great pick, Academy. Yeah, assholes.
Yeah, it was very manipulative. It made me cry, but I thought it was fine. I don't think it was Best Picture worthy, but whatever.
Oh, I could say that for so many years. Fortunately, not this year, but so many years.
Out of the ones that were there, this was a good pick, right?
Coda?
For everything? No, everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah.
For this year?
I won't quibble with it.
Tar.
I won't quibble
with it.
Tar
was never going to win. I can't even believe it got nominated. There's no way that was going to win.
Yeah. All right. You want to do this? You want to do this? A spicy meatball?
Jesus Christ. Jack, what are you doing? Oh, God.